игра про двух ковбоев. Не помню, как она называется. Ну, типа там один красный, только в понче, другой синий. То есть красный, типа, стрелял, блин, то ли здоровыми патронами, а синий мог стрелять сразу в две точки, если я не ошибаюсь. Ну, типа, вперед и вверх. Вот я тоже проходил с удовольствием. По-моему, на Сеге.
Climbing around that train, I must have swallowed 100 damn bugs before I reached that.
Younger gang pulled the first train robbery west of the Mississippi.
Sounds like you hold them in high regard.
Everyone knows they were the most famous outlaw gang ever.
And you took them all on by your lonesome. Again. I'm finding this all a little hard to swallow, friend.
Well, maybe you need to wash it down with some whiskey. By the way, did I mention that that train was flying down those tracks like a bat out of hell? Anyway, excuse
Так,
me,
надо
ma'am.
прокачать.
Where would I find the gentleman's facilities? Suddenly I have an urgent need to drain my one-eyed snake. Well, I've had more than a few drinks, and I've been sitting here for quite a spell.
Right through there. Let me show you. I never heard so much malarkey in my life.
Sunset Riders. Возможно, я не помню название.
You don't think he's Silas Greaves?
I think he's just some old drunk looking for some free liquor.
Короче, кто-то там не верит в его историю.
No, Jack. I think I believe him. You don't think he met Jesse James?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That story makes no sense at all. I mean, you gotta be
Это
too
как
red
кто-то не
short
верит в
to
мои
believe
истории из
that
банка.
cock and bull story.
Я бы давно уже мозги ему вышиб.
But you seriously think that
Блять,
tired old
я заебался по одному и тому же вагону ходить. Давайте уже продолжение.
Well, that's better. Did I mention that this Jim was married to the infamous Belle Starr? Of course, I didn't learn that until later. Anyway, I made my way forward the best I could. Around the sides, over the roof.
А! Привет, Тагман. Да кто?
Some sumbitch saw me and shouted out, "It's a damn Pinkertons!"
Блять, да на что ж ты ж... Я не понял, как мили атаку жить. На F? Да, на F. Что-то первая трудность какая-то непонятная.
Now, I never worked for that limey cocksucker, but I guess they assumed I was one of his assassins.
Пиздец. Кстати, да, у меня до сих пор показаны пока эти банковские дома в этом чате тоже. Без там пауков и волков.
Evil bastards firebombed Jesse's mother's house and killed his stepbrother. So it's no wonder each and every asshole on that train wanted me dead.
Что-то сложная какая-то миссия. Чем миссия? Уровень. Что, опять? Блять, да что?
It was definitely safer on the inside of the train.
Что за лютый патч? Я еще не смотрел. Мне все-таки надо вперед идти. Может, наверх подняться? А, да, вот наверх. И куда? Ага.
I came across a flat car piled high with logs and had to come up with a creative way to make my way forward. Right about then, I was attacked by some asshole on a Gatling gun.
Yeah, seems like you run into a lot of them.
Asshole?
О,
Yes, I did. Now, I don't remember how I took it out. It was either a bullet or dynamite.
Where would you find dynamite?
Does it really matter, Jack? You're messing with the flow of the story here.
да, блядь! Тихо, была секретка. Есть. А-а-а-а! Я не понимаю, в чем проблема, что случилось. Да пиздец! Я не понимаю, как у меня все равно, я же бегу, я как, блять, как рысь. Как так-то? Ладно, похер.
Right about then, I was attacked by some asshole on a Gatling gun.
3 выстрела. 3 выстрела, я труп здесь. Не более. Точнее, не менее, не более. Тупо 3 выстрела. Ну не хочу аккуратно тут проходить. Это, блин, пиздец. Ну ладно, ждем здесь. Идем дальше.
Yes, I did. Now, I don't remember how I took it out. It was either a bullet or dynamite.
Where would you find dynamite?
Does it really matter, Jack? You're messing with the flow of the story here.
А?
Shooting any son of a bitch stupid enough to get in my way. And that included Jesse James himself.
Что-то я вообще стал умирать слишком часто. Охуеть.
sure were a lot of men determined to die that day.
Я же так грожужжу. Все заново. Сейчас все будет нормально. Сейчас я резнусь. Так, я лучший ковбой. Тупо лучший.
It was then that Jesse detached the
Блять, надо
express car
спрыгивать.
from the rest of the damn train. I could see Jesse waiting for me, fixing to kill me so he could get away with all that money.
Что-то
You
дуэлька?
had a showdown with Jesse James?
Of course he didn't. Everybody knows Jesse was killed by Bob Ford.
Yeah. Jesse went out like John Wesley Hardin. Coward shot him in the back of the head.
Guess it doesn't matter how far you run, does it, Ben? Your past always catches up with you. Yeah, I didn't kill Jesse James. Just wounded him bad enough to convince him to hang up his guns.
What about that Jim fella? What happened to him?
I figure he was up front with a gun to the engineer's head. That bastard slipped away again. I'll tell you how I got him. But first I need to wet my whistle.
Блин, 50% точно отвратительно. Худший раунд. Худший уровень. Сюда было 70-80.
After my showdown with Jesse, I continued to track his brother, Frank, and that son of a bitch Jim.
Так, я думаю, мне тут интерес понадобится. Привет, Алекс.
What mountains would that be?
Somewhere in the Ozarks, I believe. The perfect place to hide out from the authorities. In fact, before I could find them,
Ой,
some
блядь.
Indians who fled the
Ай,
war
не...
hiding out from the military found me first.
Ну, за какая у тебя была рожа, я не слежу за этим, я сосредоточен. Так, вот так вот я обычно сосредоточусь. Тихо, тихо, тихо. Я ты спрятался, нормально. Блять, солнце ни хера не видно.
Hey, how about another whiskey, Ben? Nothing better to soothe the troubled soul.
Так,
Now,
по-моему,
where
тут
was
пиздец
I?
будет.
Indians, right. I had more than my share of run-ins with the red man. Like that time.
Ну
Did
да,
I
тут,
tell you about
блять,
Grey Wolf?
тут
Yes,
что-то...
sir.
Вообще их...
Of course I did. In fact, I can still remember that old medicine man's words.
Jesus Christ, we're back to that again.
You carry great darkness in your heart. It will claim your soul. You will come to this place again and kill many more men.
На патроны, блядь, кончаются. Оп!
Until it consumes everything you are.
Блять.
Like that time. Did I tell you about Grey Wolf?
Yes, sir. You did.
Of course I did. In fact, I could still remember that old medicine man's words to me.
Jesus Christ, we're back to that again.
You carry great darkness in your heart. It will claim your soul. You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything you are.
Да блядь, да какого хера? Пиздец. Почему я не попадал-то? Я прям в него стрелял, когда он красный был. Что за бред-то? Вообще не понимаю, что за прикол. Нормально, блин, стрелял по нему. Вот. Вообще не понимаю, что за прикол.
You will come to this place again and kill many more men. And the darkness will grow until it consumes everything you are.
Вот опять. Вот. Мой. Мой. Мой.
Let me ask you something, Ben. You ever think about death?
Mr. Graves, are you all right?
Ooh, death. Ooh, death.
Ну, почти скоро следующий левел. Нормально.
Won't you spare me over till another year? What is this that I can't see? With ice cold hands taking hold of me. Well, I am death, none can excel. I'll open the door to heaven or hell. Oh, death, someone would pray.
Серьезно, блядь.
Could you wait to call me another day? Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over
Это что за...
another year?
So are you gonna answer the question?
What question is that?
Jim Reed. Did you ever find him?
Ебать!
Was indeed that son of a bitch's surname. That's right, Ben.
Перепугался.
A despicable character. I remember him laughing like a hyena that cold morning they lynched me and my brothers. He was intent on avoiding my vengeance, but nothing was gonna stop me. Nothing.
Что это? Чувак с бакенбардом. Фрэнк Джеймс. Я ранил Джесси Джеймс, а теперь Фрэнк Джеймс. Избегаю пуль снайпера. А еще есть. Ай, блядь! Ой. Как ты снайпера обсос ты? Да, как я доджу просто. Просто изи додж.
I'm guessing Frank James believed I was responsible for the demise of his brother Jesse. I couldn't really disagree with the man as I thought Jesse was dead then as well. He backed off as I closed in on him, but he was still intent on killing me. And when I closed in on him again, he backed off again, looking for a better angle on me. Well, I can't fault Frank for wanting his revenge, as I was there for the same damn reason myself. At this point, I'm guessing you think Silas Greaves is a worse murderer than Jim Reed ever was.
No, sir.
A man who spent half his life killing somebody's brothers, fathers, sons.
Я этого не ожидал. Сюда. Ебать!
It was a pitched battle that could have gone either way. Luckily, I had some dynamite in my possession.
Dynamite. On your person.
A few sticks, just in case. It's always good to be prepared.
Right.
I'm just laying out the facts as I remember them, Jack. That old shack? Well, it went tumbling right off that cliff.
With Frank James still in it?
Yes, sir.
But Frank James is still alive, living in Missouri, showing folks around the family farm for 25 cents a tour.
I didn't say he died in the fall, now did I?
Блять, я не успел взять. О.
I'm done with this damnable outlaw life. Kill me, don't kill me, do what you will. At this point, I just don't give a shit.
I explained to Frank that I had nothing against him personally and that I was looking for someone else.
You want Reed? Have at him. I never did like that bastard. I am done here.
We parted in peace as Frank pointed out the path to my prey before making his way back down the hill.
Сейчас я самородок возьму, подождите, о. Буч Кэссиди. Так, куда надо идти? Ну вместе скрывается Джим Рид. Ой. О!
I was determined not to let that murderer escape my revenge again.
So what happened with Reed?
Well, I finally found the last of the gang hiding in a nearby cave. First, I had to dispatch the lookouts. But rather than wander in willy-nilly, I decided it would be better to smoke that sumbitch out. Hey, Reed! I shouted. No wonder you're so ornery. Can't be easy being married to Belle Starr. While you're off providing for the family, she's spreading her legs for every Tom, Dick, and Cole Younger. Not an attractive woman exactly, but very friendly. At least she was to me.
Son of a bitch!
Ты где там?
It was then that the last bunch of bandits jumped out of hiding.
Why won't this asshole give up?
Сейчас изи размотаем. Блять. Ладно. Будем поаккуратнее.
Eventually, it was just me and Reed.
Ох, какой лысый.
I had waited a long time to face him down, so I could repay him for what he did to my brothers. And repay him I did. Well, I don't know about you boys, but I'm pretty beat.
Well, it's too damn bad you never found that Bob character. Seems a shame you never had to pay.
Well, funny thing about that, I did have one more chance at him. Six months ago, I heard that Butch and Sundance were back in the States and had gathered up some of their old gang. I tracked them down, hoping that Roscoe Bob Bryant had returned with them.
So you're saying they didn't die down in Bolivia?
That's what I'm saying.
Вот, хороший, плохой, мертв. Ну, как будто уже как этот... Хороший, плохой, злой, что такое. Про фильмец, если говорить. О, это мне по-любому винтарь уже будет. Ну, трейлер трансформеров? Нет, спасибо. Я не любитель трансформеров.
Ringo and Jim Reed fell fairly quickly, but the last one, Roscoe Bob Bryant, that son of a bitch had managed to escape my vengeance time and time again. I couldn't even be certain I'd recognize him after all those years. By now, he had to be close to 70.
But for all you know, he could have been dead.
That thought had indeed crossed my mind, as did others. For instance, did my thirst for vengeance turn me into something worse than the man I was after? By this point in my storied career, I had killed more men than Bob Bryant ever had. I was furious as hell at that bastard for making me who I am. A man with no family, no friends.
Шо? Не вижу никого.
Nothing could stop me from taking his life.
Где-то здесь что-то есть.
Been after that killer forever. From the time I rode with Billy the Kid. But that chapter of my story you already know.
Chapter of that fairy tale, you mean?
Suddenly it was 1910. Here I was, an old man roaming a ghost town dead almost 2 decades.
Может тут? Блять. Так, хорошо, здесь мы все взяли. А дальше мне... Куда? Наверх? В тирании. Не хочу вашу тиранию играть, блядь. Я не люблю текстовую вот это говно сюжетное надолго. Ну нафиг мне это надо. Ребят, никаких Icewind Dale'ских, блядь, никаких Baldur Gates'ов, Neverwinter Nights, тирании, Pillars of Eternity. Я это не смогу на стриме играть, это дропну, это скучно. Я уже пробовал Pillars проходить. Как-то мало ачивок. Ну, я не все собирал так. Типа, если рядышком будут, то я пройду.
But I wasn't about to call it quits. Even though the ghosts of my dead brothers were begging me to end what I started so long ago.
Mr. Graves, are you all right? Would you like some water?
The Wild Bunch knew I was there. They were after a treasure they had hidden before they fled, buried in a grave of a dead amigo.
Наверху.
I intended to fill that grave with Bob Bryant's corpse. But like I said, the bandits knew I was onto them.
Блять, а что
They
там? Кто?
lured me in and hit me with everything they had.
Нихуя. Вы что, ребята, подождите. Подождите. Подождите, стойте. А как мне стрелять-то вас, а?
You obviously prevailed since you're sitting here down.
Actually, in that moment, I did not prevail.
So I suppose we're talking to a ghost.
Funny you should put it like that, Jack.
Что за пиздец происходит? Хера не вижу. А? О.
Because when I woke up,
From the dead?
there was silence all around me. I could swear to God I saw Billy then.
Billy who?
Billy, the kid. William Bonney. He was shooting at me from a rooftop.
Так, куда мне идти?
Here, there, even over there.
So I am right. You are touched in the head.
Mr. Graves, perhaps we should switch you to coffee?
You see that old Indian again, too?
No, but I did see Billy's killer, Patrick Floyd Garrett. He came at me guns a-blazing. But I knew that old war horse had died 2 years
Что это
before.
такое?
I wondered if maybe I was dead too and confronting the ghosts of my past. Perhaps all my sins were coming back to haunt me and drag me down to perdition. I saw Henry Plummer throw dynamite at me.
Блять, я их не вижу ни хера, они полувидимые какие-то призраки эти. Детка же съебнулся. Под старость лет. Пиздец. Ладно.
In the gates of the cemetery, I saw John Wesley Hardin. Just like
Типа он
I
теперь
remember.
всех, кого он убивал, будет... Это уже конец игры, что ли? Обычно такие вещи происходят под конец игры. Блять! кладбище.
Robert Ollinger appeared with his terrible double-barrel shotgun. But no ghost army was stopping me.
My father-in-law got hit with a falling branch. He spent the rest of his life talking to dogs.
Newman Hayes Clanton, William Brocious, John Peters Ringo, they all wanted me dead. The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead. George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond. Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed. Each one deader than the next. I thought I would go crazy.
Thought.
Блять.
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead. George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond. Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed. Each one deader than the next.
Блять. Пиздец.
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead. George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond. Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed. Each one deader than the next.
Блять! Да как так-то они со всех сторон, блядь, лезут? Я не вывожу их. Я не понимаю, откуда они появляются.
George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond. Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed. Each one deader than the next. I thought I would go crazy. Thought. I saw Harry Alonzo Longabaugh.
The Sundance Kid?
Like a general leading his legion of the dead.
You told us before you'd seen him.
He was alive.
Блядь.
I heard a voice call to me from afar. It was Robert Leroy Parker, a.k.a. Butch Cassidy, coming at me from out of the fog.
Thanks for taking care of that bastard.
But the kid wasn't quite deceased. Not yet.
Takes more than one little bullet to kill the likes of me, partner.
Those two looked like they hadn't seen each other for quite a while. Clearly, they were no longer amigos.
Shit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to kill you.
You won't have to, Butch. I'm killing you first.
I asked him about Bob Bryant, but they were too busy with their own heated conversation.
Let me get this shit straight. You want my money and the love of my life?
You frittered it all away, Butch. Anna's mine. So is that damn money.
I didn't want to shoot anybody until I had an answer to my question, but those boys didn't give me much of a choice.
Мексиканская дурика уеда, шеф. Ебать. Ебать. Это как?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid died there in that cemetery not 6 months ago.
Понимаете, еще что-то могу. Эти руки просто созданы для MLG. Так, эпилог. Все прошли, что ли, за 3 часа?
Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were killed by the Bolivian army. Everybody knows that.
That's the legend, but it ain't the truth.
So, you never found Bob? There is no Bob. This old sumbitch ain't even Silas Greaves.
Sir, is that true? Have you been pulling our legs this whole time?
Well, not the whole time.
Oh man, I think you've worn out your welcome here.
Maybe you're right, Jack. Maybe it's time to pay. You see, Ben, or should I say Bob, your past always catches up with you.
Это чувак, который постоянно мне не верил.
Man back then, crazy. Drinking, I've changed my ways, I swear to you. If I could turn back the clock,
But you can't, Bob.
Что, это последняя дуэлька будет? Выберите свою судьбу. Месть! Я даже особо не думал, тупо месть. Это Дикий Запад, детка.
Why not just lay your cards on the table?
Here. I won't have it said that I left you with nothing.
That's how you want it? So be it.
Holy shit! Right, Molly, move against that wall. Go!
Oh my God! Oh Jesus!
Did you know it was him all along?
Cassidy told me Bob was in Abilene before he died. But I wasn't sure Ben was my man until he revealed how much he knew about Ringo and Reed. The coin, of course. Well, that was the last nail in that particular coffin.
I better go get the sheriff.
You okay, boy? You're looking mighty shook up.
Dwight, maybe you best go home. Young Eisenhower here is leaving for West Point tomorrow. He shouldn't get caught up in something like this.
I think I might head out myself at this juncture. Unless you want to stop me, Jack.
No, sir, Mr. Greaves.
So where are you going now? Now that you had your revenge?
Doesn't really matter, does it? As I've sold my soul for it, and will never again walk with those I have lost.
А вторая часть про него же? Или про другого уже? Так, что там по ачивкам? 42%. Ну, типа, там еще надо эти все проходить, всякое, ну, всякое разное, да? Надо открыть все навыки, ебать, надо заново все проходить. Прикольно, прикольная игра. Про другого? Отлично.